And people would think I was ignoring them, not realizing that your girl couldn't see. They started shouting, "Madam, madam, stay still, don't move, stay still." I literally went from this to this to now 2020, not even 2020, 2010 vision. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is EleGold, and you're probably watching this video because you want to know more about the LASIK eye surgery or you want to get yours done. Either way, I invite you into the details of this video. So I got my LASIK eye surgery done in Dubai about 2 months ago, and I didn't just want to rush and get this video out there. I wanted to also make sure that I had come back to the US and gotten my own eye exam fully done by my own doctor, which I have done. So I'm going to be sharing all that information with you all in this video, as well as some of the questions that I will be answering at the end of this video. And lastly, I would be sharing my doctor's information, the hospital that I used, and the total costs that I paid for my LASIK eye surgery in Dubai. A little background on me and my eyesight. I realized that my eyes were getting worse over time when I was in college. I would go to class and the professor would be teaching and I wouldn't be able to see the board whatsoever or the screens. So this got worse over time, and I moved from sitting at the back of the class to sitting in front of the class, and I realized that I still wasn't able to see. I had to keep squinting every time in class. So I realized that it was time for me to go check that out. And when I went to go check it out, I realized that I was actually nearsighted. I could only see things which were up close to me and not things far. So they recommended that I get glasses, and I had to get glasses, and I would use my glasses in class and maybe sometimes when I was driving at night. But I truly did not want to have that look of wearing glasses, because sometimes your face just gets accustomed to the glasses, and when you take it off you look like a totally different person, and I really did not want that. So I would only wear glasses when I needed it, and I didn't wear it as much, and my eyesight was good. However, as time went on, I started wearing my glasses a bit more, and I started being so super dependent on my glasses. Like I couldn't see if I did not wear it, and my eyesight literally just got bad over time the more I wore my glasses. It's so funny that it got to a point where I was praying and believing God for healing of my eyes that I completely stopped wearing my glasses. And I remember one day I was driving and I couldn't see. I called a friend and she's like, "Girl, if you don't put your glasses back on, what do you mean?" So I just said, "You know what, that makes no sense." She's like, "You don't want to go crash just because you are believing for healing. Trust God, and also you should definitely look into getting surgery done, right? Because God can either heal you miraculously or he can heal you through the power of medicine, because God has given people the insight to be able to do LASIK surgery successfully well." And that was when I started looking more into LASIK. And when I went to visit my eye doctor at the time, they told me my eyes weren't bad enough to get LASIK done. So that was off the table for me. And this was about 10 years ago, I believe. But progressively, as my eyesight got worse, I realized that, okay, I definitely need to go try and see if LASIK is an option for me. And since I got back to the US, I just moved to the US, by the way. Since I got back to the US, I started looking into getting my LASIK eye surgery done. And when I started checking out the prices, I was rather alarmed because it was like a couple of $1,000s. The last one I had checked was about $8,000, and I was like, woof, wow. So I said, you know what, I would definitely be saving up towards that and not doing that anytime in the near future. Also been that girl that whenever I would go out with my friends or go to a party or go to a wedding, because I did not like wearing contacts, I didn't even know how to wear contacts. I had to wear my glasses, and sometimes I just didn't like how I looked with the glasses on, full face beat, and then your outfit, and then you have to wear glasses. I was like, yeah, no. And it's so funny that I would go to parties, I would go to weddings, I would go to events, and people would think I was ignoring them, not realizing that your girl couldn't see nothing at all. So it's so funny, like I would have to tell people like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you, I wear glasses, right? I didn't see you." So it's so funny, I had to explain myself so many times to people so that they knew that I wasn't like ignoring them or none of that. When I knew that this was like really bad was right before my wedding in Nigeria. I didn't know how to wear contact lenses, and my makeup artist literally had to wear them for me. and it was a fight because I'm the type of person, I don't like anything coming close to my eye. Don't come close to my eye. Even when I was getting my makeup done, I had to like hold the hand of the makeup artist to like put the inner liner or put the lashes on me. I'm just that person. Like my eyes are super sensitive and I don't want anything close to it. So like having someone try to put contact lenses on me, it was war. But it was my wedding and I said, you know what, this is for one day, it's fine. He put it in and we were good. I just wanted to look good on that day. I didn't want to buy gala, wear a really nice outfit, have my makeup on my wedding day and be wearing glasses. So I wore contact lenses that day, and from there on I started wearing contact lenses more and more. However, the LASIK eye surgery has always been on my mind to do, but I just did not know when I was going to do it. Now I went to Dubai for a conference, and while having brunch with my friends, I was telling them how I did not have enough contact lenses for this trip that I came on, so I had to pick and choose what days I would wear my contact lenses and what day I would have to wear my glasses because I didn't have enough. And then one of the ladies at brunch literally said, girl, go get your LASIK surgery done. I got mine done. I can share my doctor's information with you. And I'm like, really? Tell me more. So she shared the information with me, and that was how, literally on vacation, I went and I got my LASIK eye surgery done in the middle of my vacation. Who does that? EleGoldB does that. Before I went into the eye clinic, I did my surgery. I looked them up. I read reviews. I searched through the internet. I combed through, I searched on TikTok, everything just to make sure that I was good to go. And on the first day when I went in, we did an eye exam to make sure that my prescription and everything matched equally, and that was good. After they checked my eyesight, we did an eye exam to have their own reading and their own findings as well. We went ahead to do a retina dilation. So they put a few drops in my eyes to dilate my retina, and then the doctor looked through my eyes to make sure the health of my eyes was good enough and healthy enough to have the LASIK eye surgery, which he approved. Everything was good. We scheduled the surgery for the second day. So on the second day, I went right back into the eye clinic to do my surgery. Prior to going in for my surgery, I made sure not to look up anything about LASIK because I did not want to chicken out of that surgery. I knew I wanted it and I didn't want anything to discourage me from it. Neither did I tell certain people because people would be like, what, you're having surgery in Dubai? I didn't want none of that. I knew what I wanted and I went for it. So I went for the eye surgery that day, and they started off with numbing drops. So they put some numbing drops in my eyes just so I did not feel any pain or pressure. And to be honest, the process was very fast and pain-free. After the numbing drops were put in my eyes, the next thing was to go in for the surgery, and that was when I started shaking. So once I got there, I laid on the bed, the LASIK bed, and the doctor told me to be as calm as possible. They gave me all the instructions that I needed to know and to follow while under the laser. Once the surgery started, the doctor put an eye guard over my eyes, or in my eyes, to keep my eyes open. I thought I was blinking, but I don't believe my eyes were moving because of the eye guard. And then the process involves the tear of the cornea, where they use a tool to open or to tear your cornea so they could lift it up. Once they lift it up, there's a laser that is exact to your prescription and the adjustment that needs to be made to make sure that your eyesight is corrected properly. That has already been preset by the doctor, and they shoot that laser into your eye, so you have to stay still. However, I was so tense. I wish that they had given me like a stress ball or someone to hold my hand. I was very stressed. My body was tense because they covered one eye and then they told me with one eye, madam, stay still, just look at the laser. And while I was looking at the laser, they put the eye guard so I could feel it, but there was no pain whatsoever. Once they put that, they opened I could see all their little tools on the side, the periphery of my eyes going. They opened it. I knew what was happening and my body was tightening up. And I was trying as much as possible to stay still. And they said, madam, you have to stay still. This is the most important part of the surgery. Do not move so that we don't have any problems. Just stay still. And I was hearing all those things. They lifted up my cornea, the flap that they had made, and everything went blank. Blank. And that was when my body even tensed up more. They started shouting, madam, madam, stay still, don't move, stay still. I was like, oh my God. I literally had to hold my hands like this And I started praying because everything went blank. Like in 1 second, everything went blank. And because I did not prepare my mind going into it for what was to come, I didn't even know what was to come. I didn't know that was a thing. So I had to keep telling myself, it's okay, just stay still, just stay still. And they told me, just look at the laser, whatever you do, just look at the green laser. There was a green laser and a red laser, and it felt like it was spreading. The light was spreading, but they told me, stay still and look still. And I was telling them, the light is spreading, it's moving. What do you want me to look at? They're like, just stay still. Look at the green. I said, it is spreading. What do y'all mean, stay still? So I just tried to calm myself down and try to focus on one spot where the green laser originated from. And I just focused on that. And then the laser did its thing and they dropped back the cornea flap. And that was it for that eye. They closed it with an eye guard and then they moved to my next eye. And the same process repeated. And I promise you, in less than 6 minutes, I was completely done with the LASIK eye surgery. So once I finished, they gave me these glasses. And to be honest, it's so cool. It's looking like a Y2K. They gave this to me to put it on my eyes. And then they gave me an aftercare procedure, what I could do, what I couldn't do. And for the most part, the first day, I could not wash my eyes. I could not look at screens, be it my phone or whatever. The only light I could see was going back home, and that was it. So once I got back home, the other thing with after getting laser is you cannot drive. Someone needs to drive you. So you need to bring someone with you, or you have to take an Uber. One of those transportation means back home, but you cannot drive. So I took an Uber back home back home in Dubai. I took an Uber back home and I ate and I went straight to sleep. They also let me know that there were certain eye drops that I had to use every 4 hours. There were 4 eye drops, 2 antibiotics, and then I believe 2 artificial tears. I would write that down. I had to use that every 4 hours at the same time with 5 minutes intervals for each of them. And I was doing that for the next 24 hours before the 3rd day, which was my follow-up appointment. However, before my follow-up appointment, I had slept for the most part of the day after my LASIK surgery. And I woke up at 3 a.m. to go drink water. When I woke up at 3 a.m., I looked outside the window and I could see clearly. And by the way, I had to sleep in these glasses because they didn't need you to rub your eyes whatsoever because the cornea flap was still healing, so you couldn't touch it. So I had to sleep with that. But when I woke up at 3 a.m. and I looked outside in Dubai, it was so bright. It felt like a new day. I was like, what? I had never seen through my eyes in such a way ever before. So I was so stunned. But I was still sleepy, so I just went back to bed. And then the next morning, I went back. Now, this is the 3rd day. I went back to the doctors for a follow-up, my 24-hour follow-up appointment to make sure that everything from the surgery went very well. The doctor checked my eyes. We did an eye exam, 2020. He cleared me. He said, congratulations. ZHC, HFZ. Perfect.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Continue eye drops.
Okay.
Precautions, don't squeeze. Assume normal activity now.
You are good to go. And he also let me know that I should follow up with my doctor when I get back home just to verify that everything was fine. And yeah, so that was it for the procedure and that process. Healing time from LASIK. You have your initial healing, which is 24 to 48 hours after your surgery. In this period, it feels like it felt like an eyelash or a thread or a hair strand would be in your eye, and that was what I felt. It just felt like something was there and I just needed to pull it out. But that is your cornea flap that you can feel, and you would most likely feel this for up to a couple of weeks. And in that moment, that 24 hours, your vision is still a bit blurry, and that's why they give you the glasses to wear to also protect your eyes. You cannot rub your eyes, you cannot shower, at least not your face. In the 24 hours, you can shower neck down, which is what I did, and maybe just use a cloth to wash your face. The first 24 hours are are so crucial to the healing of your eyes. Your eyes are a very vital organ, so you have to be very careful with that, and I was very careful with that. In the short-term healing, which is between 1 week and 4 weeks after your surgery, you have to avoid dusty areas, you have to avoid swimming, you have to be very careful with rubbing your eyes. As much as possible, you are not supposed to rub your eyes, not too hard. When you do shower or let water touch your face, you cannot squeeze or try to pat dry, because that cornea is still healing and any shift is not good to it, so you're trying to avoid that as much as possible. And your vision will continue to stabilize over the next 4 weeks. But typically, all basic activities are restored within the first 24 to 48 hours, which is what happened to me. I was good to go the next day, 48 hours after. 1 to 4 weeks after, they said not to wear makeup. However, it was my brother-in-law's wedding and I had to wear makeup because I chose to. And everything still was fine, but I was very careful because when you're doing eye makeup, you're using brushes, you're using beauty blenders. So you want to be very careful with your cornea. I did do my makeup 2 weeks after. I shouldn't have, but everything worked out just fine for me because I was very careful with the makeup. And for the full recovery from your LASIK eye surgery, that takes about 3 to 6 months. Sometimes you may have halos, you may have glares, but all of these things are typically normal and expected because your eyes are still healing. Some people experience very dry eyes, but I've been fortunate enough not to have any of those experiences so far. I've been very good, very great. I think I've just experienced like some flashes on the side of my eyes, very rarely, but I'm still in the healing window, so we're still good. I'm just 2 months out from my LASIK eye surgery. I am back in the US and I did go back to my own doctor to do a full eye exam to make sure everything is good, also based off of US standards. When I got to my doctor, he did an eye exam on me. Everything was completely perfect. He cleared me off for 20/20 vision, and then I was like, oh, let's take it a step further. We did the eye exam for 20/15 vision, which is better than 20/20, and I was cleared for that. And I said, you know what? Let's take it a step further. We did a 20/10 exam, and he told me that in his entire practice life, he has never done a 20/10 eye exam on any patient.
This worse?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the left.
This is good. Okay.
Better 1 or better 2?
What did you say?
That's a 2010. The first time I'm testing somebody for the 2010 vision. And Ella, right?
Yes.
Ella can see 2010 without any glasses or contacts.
What?
So maybe send this to the surgeon in Dubai.
I will.
Yeah,
Oh my god. So we did the 2010 exam and I could see clearly 2010 vision. He cleared me for 2010. Yeah, that was so amazing. Going from someone who had like 20/50 vision, I think it was 20/50, going to 20/10, not just 20/20. Like, if you're looking at me right now, I can see your thoughts. You who is watching me, I can see your thoughts. That's how clear my vision is right now. And I'm truly, truly just so grateful, so glad I can see from my eyes. Throughout this whole process, I really just cried when I started seeing, because after years of not being able to see through my own eyes, being able to see now feels like a miracle, and I'm truly so grateful for that. The hospital that I got my LASIK eye surgery done in Dubai is a Laser Eye Care and Research Center in Dubai Healthcare City. My doctor's name is Dr. Mohammed El Sayed. He's the ophthalmologist there. And now the cost of my LASIK surgery will blow your minds. So in the US, the last quote that I had gotten was $8,000. When I got to Dubai and I did my consult, it was 4,500 dirhams, which was about $8,400. When I heard that, I was like, sign me up. Sign me up. But the good thing also is that I went to Dubai during Ramadan, and during Ramadan there's a lot of discounts in Dubai. So there was a 50% discount during that time that I went, and the entirety of my LASIK eye surgery, including all my eye drops, all my aftercare products, the glasses, every single thing, my follow-ups and all, yeah, it was under $700. $700 under. I know. So for me, when I heard that at first, I was like, 50% off? At first, I was like, yay, but then I'm like, especially when my mind started going back that the last consult I had done was $8,000 to $700. So I started doing my research a little bit harder because I'm like, why is this so cheap? We're just like, that's just the price here. And Ramadan, time, they give a lot of discounts. And I mean, if you don't want to take it, but I was like, oh no, sign me up. After I did all my research, made sure, I researched the doctor, I researched the school he went to. I just did my own due diligence because, excuse me, these are the precious eyes that God has given me. And I wasn't about to just, go in uninformed or go in blindly. So I did my research and I was comfortable and, confident in everything I had done. Also, my friend had also used that doctor about 3 or 4 years prior, and her LASIK surgery or her LASIK results are still going good. So for me, I was like, all right, someone I know has done it, aside the research that I had done. So that was good enough for me. And I went in and perfect. It's so funny that even when I went to my doctors here in America and I told him about the pricing and everything, he was like, his jaw dropped, and he said that is the best investment that you have probably made for your eyes, for yourself, because everything came out so good. He cleared me with 2010 vision. Into some questions that I had gotten. Are your eyes dry? I've only gotten dry eyes once, and this was when I was still using my eye drops. I was supposed to use my eye drops for a month, which I stayed consistent with. However, one day, because I was running around doing so many errands, I wasn't able to use my eye drops that day, and my eyes felt like your throat on a very hot day. I just needed water. My eyes just needed my eye drops. So that was the only day that I ever got dry eyes. I have had my surgery now for about 2 months, and it was just that one day. But so far, I have not experienced any dry eyes whatsoever. Were you scared? I wasn't scared going in. My theme for this year is audacity. So I'm daring things. I'm doing things boldly. I'm moving without fear. So maybe that has helped me. I wasn't scared. However, like I mentioned earlier, when I did get into the laser room, I started, freaking out a little bit, and I just had to hold myself, and I prayed, and I was good. And to be honest, if you can just stay still for 10 minutes, if you decide on getting the surgery, you will be fine. What was it like after the surgery? So for me, after the surgery, it literally just, obviously my sight was blurry that first day, and then it felt like I had a thread in my eye. That was all. And all I wanted to do was just remove it. So I had to tell myself, don't do that. So what helped me a lot was wearing these for as long as I could. So it will remind me, don't touch your eyes, don't rub your eyes. I had to be very intentional when I took a bath, to shower down and then use a cloth. So I think for like a month, I had to use like a washcloth to wash my face versus letting the shower water just hit me. But overall, the first 24 hours was really just the crucial part. After that, I was good. And then I wore sunglasses a lot. I still wear sunglasses, not for any reason, but just in particular. But I just don't want dust to get into my eyes. But right now, I'm not wearing it as much because I feel like my eyes are healing so well, so good. So yeah, that was what it was like after the surgery for me. And I was super excited. How often do you use the eye drops in your eyes? I only followed it for a month. That was the instruction that my doctor gave me. I used it for a month, and after a month, that was it. However, you do have the artificial teardrops if you ever need it, or if you feel your eyes are getting dry, you can use it. I've not had need to use it. Would you recommend the same doctor and hospital? 100%. I would recommend them, but you do your own due diligence, do your research. For me, it worked out really good, so yes, I would recommend. Are there any side effects? No side effects on my part. Like I mentioned, I've experienced some glares at night or some flashes, but that's it. I'm still in my healing period. I'm not up to the 6-month mark, and that has only happened about twice, and that's it. So aside that, I've not had any side effects, nothing whatsoever. My eyes are good. Am I a good candidate for LASIK? I'm not going to know the answer to that question. You have to go see your doctor and see if you are cleared to have the surgery or not. Would you recommend it? Yes, I would. Would you do it again? Yes, I will. So that is all the questions that I got. However, if you have any question or anything that I might have missed in this video, please go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I will be answering all things LASIK related. And I'll see you all in my next video. And look at these glasses, they don't want to break. They do not want to break, but I am done. We are done. We are done.